Hi there, my name is Rachel Science, and this is my Part 5 Policy and Advocacy Exploration. The policy that I decided to focus on is inadequate compensation and benefits for early childhood educators. As a preschool teacher in Southern California, I find myself struggling financially to make ends meet. This is why I chose this policy to focus on. Most of the preschool teachers at the school that I work at start out making about $15 an hour. For comparison, In-N-Out Burger pays their burger associates $19 an hour starting out. Early educators' salaries are low, averaging less than $15 per hour. Almost half of all child care workers are enrolled in at least one public assistance program. Most infant and toddler teachers are privately funded through parent fees. Even the preschool that I am currently working at is a private preschool that is funded through the parents' tuition. Due to low income from being a preschool teacher, I've unfortunately been applying for new jobs, and I'm also finishing my college degree so that I can find a higher paying job with better benefits such as healthcare, time off, sick leave, and other benefits that we are lacking. Inadequate compensation and benefits. Early childhood systems are poorly resourced, and most child care workers and preschool teachers do not have access to health insurance through their employers. Less than 1/3 had access to retirement plans. And when teachers are financially stressed, it is more difficult for them to focus on the needs of the children in their care. Work schedules, lack of benefits such as paid time off, and health insurance are also added stressors for early childhood educators. Early childhood educators have the lowest earning potential of all college majors. Most programs rely on the revenues from tuition to cover operating costs, which includes paying their staff. Early childhood educators are the main factor in the quality of early care and education. Childhood educators are compensated with low to poverty wages for their work. Child care workers remain nearly at the bottom of all U.S. occupations when ranked by annual pay. Many early childhood educators must rely on public income support programs. Early childhood educators are compensated poorly for their essential work. Differences in pay derive from a variety of factors like role within a program, regional location, ages of children taught, years of experience, education, community poverty level, urbanicity, or the density of the urban population where the center-based provider is located, and race and ethnicity. Wages have not kept pace with inflation, meaning that early childhood educators' purchasing power has decreased over the past several years. Those who are involved in caring for others are historically undercompensated and viewed as less valuable economic contributors. Wages and costs associated with staffing account for around 80% of program expenses. Programs must rely on tuition and fees to cover their operating costs, which includes paying their staff. Often, programs barely break even. They must meet basic licensing requirements, which do not account for educators' economic well-being. Publicly funded pre-K programs typically have higher standards for teacher qualifications. These qualifications The qualifications, to be a preschool teacher are often different from those to be an elementary school teacher. Even in states that do require a bachelor's degree for preschool teachers, there's still a pretty big pay gap in compensation when compared to the other teachers. Preschool teachers usually make more money when they work for a public school system. My advocacy plan will be as follows. I will identify the advocacy challenge, which will be to introduce the topic of inadequate compensation and benefits for early childhood educators. My key audience when advocating for my platform would be local and state legislators who have the power to make a change in our education system, the general public, the administration of other educational organizations, and parents who are unknowingly pay for their child to go to incredible schools that underpay and underprovide for their staff. My next step would be to use my research and that of my team to conduct interviews and polls amongst our target audience to determine what their level of knowledge is on the matter. This will ensure that we will make a plan to educate these groups on information that will be helpful and new information. Execution of the education plan would be as follows. During the event, I would introduce a group of teachers from a multitude of diverse early childhood centers to speak about their own experiences and how an implementation of this policy would be better for their lives, allowing them to better the education system for their students. A document and timeline of realistic changes in compensation and benefits would be provided to the audience at this time. This will also include ways in which the goals can meet and what would need to be done for the goals to be met. This is a pamphlet to address the issues of early childhood educators' pay and compensation. I've included my audience on the top right, which is parents, legislators, and administrators. I included the vision, which is that fair pay and benefits for early childhood educators. I explained the what, why, and how. The what is that early childhood educators receive inadequate compensation and benefits. The why is low wages are a complicated issue that affects us more than we know. At the most basic level, an employee not getting compensated enough will be forced to make tough personal life choices that will have long-term impacts on themselves that can easily become a byproduct passed along to the youthful students that they are teaching. And the how is to join us as we present invaluable information about the compensation and benefits for early childhood educators. The bottom of the flyer has information about why you should join us, as well as the date, the time, and the location. And my last page here is the references. Thank you so much for watching my video.